Alright, I'm testing the mic. How can I sound? That didn't sound right. How can you hear?
Yes.
How can she slap?
Mama.
Is that a yes, honey? You can't hear me? Okay.
I can hear you just fine. I did the mama to let you know that I could hear.
Okay.
Hi, Star Blue. How's it going?
Right. We're gonna start up. There we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a slightly early Patreon stream, since my husband is here today, since we had to wait for the plumber to fix our toilet. Hooray!
Not it.
Yay! So he had to stay home, but I figured we might as well use that to make him sit through the stream with me. Yay!
So here I am.
No one gets to know why the toilet was flooded.
Rock you like
I blame
a
him
hurricane.
personally.
Probably.
That's me. But we're going to try to finish the other half of the commission that we didn't finish last time, because apparently I started like the heaviest fucking time of the month I've had in years. Like that night. Just no warning. So that's why last week we stopped.
The Bloodstorm.
It was a pretty bad bloodstorm. I've never had it happen that heavy so quick. I think it's because I'm getting old.
Yay! Antique wife. Antique wife.
My hag.
Yeah.
But we're gonna do their other one, and then we're gonna do Melissa's, and then the 10 boys.
Yeah. Gotta do Paxil's other character. I don't know what that means, but you told me to remind you.
Yep, she wanted to switch her character.
Okay. You wanted to switch.
Well, I'm not gonna buy her a Switch. Also, thank you to whoever just went and like bought On My Throne, who was anonymous, and I still don't know who you are.
Just powered through that thing, man.
We got like the biggest fucking thing of candy this week.
Yeah, I posted a picture of that because that was an absolutely ludicrous freaking box.
I still have no idea who it is. Who are you? I'm Batman. Or you are, you have a shit ton of money, damn. There was like a nearly $200 figure on that bitch. Was the Sadako figure.
I just went through and just started plowing through ordering things, which, like, thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Mildly terrified, thank you. It's cool, though.
We appreciate it. I'm just confused. As any form of affection. What?
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 Get more bugs from my little pill bug guy.
I was right, last week you figured out this was like the Bleach character.
Yeah, that's Orihime. It was surprising because she has much smaller tits than anybody ever draws her.
She had relatively small tits in like the early seasons in art, and then they just ballooned as time went on, like Nami.
Yeah. Yeah, she definitely got bigger and bigger honkers over the course of things. Mind you, like, the fan art is still, like, wildly larger.
No one ever draws tits smaller.
They really don't. That is one thing to, like... Some of these stuff, like, okay, some characters, like, yeah, sure, whatever. You give them big honkers.
I know, like,
thank you.
yeah.
Also, hi, Pixel.
Who the fuck is that? Who
Yeah.
Who did this? Who are you?
It was wild and a little terrifying.
I could at least, like, give you a thank you or something, like, damn.
Yeah. No, they are anonymous. Fat anonymous.
I was able to, like, send some help to 2 artists this week, so that was nice.
Mm-hmm.
It was like $15 and like where they could sell their stuff, but that's it. Yeah, that probably helped them a lot. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
That's the ideal. The ideal of having money as an artist is you can throw money at other artists to do art things as well.
Same $5.
Same
$5. Support dollar bills.
Also, one of them, it was a commission, so I was like, just draw my stupid baby.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Draw the shitter.
Draw my stupid ass baby. I don't even care when you do. I don't even care if you never do. I just want to help. If you're gonna draw anything, though, draw my stupid baby.
Draw him. He's a little bastard.
He is a little bastard. They are a little bastard.
Big bastard energy.
Big cunt energy.
They wish.
I do! Ah, rude. Mine's like defined by the cuntness. That's their main trait.
Little baby lamb.
They're not that fucking complicated.
Calamar just going, baby lamb, baby lamb.
Calamar wouldn't have the balls.
Shimura.
Shimura doesn't have the brain matter. It would be Leshy.
Yeah.
And you're pointing in the wrong direction. Because he'd be pointing at his brother because he smells so much like the lamb. Stop fucking so much, I can't tell who you are at a distance.
Baby lamb. Wait a minute.
That's really it. He just wants to be able to tell who they are at a distance by smell, but they keep fucking and they stink of each other.
You smell like mutton. What?
Damn, you smell like pussy. Sure hope I do. I mean, we might know if my lamb was a bastard if their parents didn't just fucking sell them off.
Who knows? They may just be a disappointment.
They're dead now anyway, so who cares? I think that's the only songs they have. Like, they're dead, who cares?
Literally. This is fine.
Uwen's like, trauma? Yes, but I'm not gonna think about that right now.
Trauma's
I have to survive!
Trauma's a somebody else problem.
I'll just cry on my husband later.
Hey.
Just like me!
Thank you. I love you.
Yeah, one night I came into bed and I was just crying. I said a thing on the internet and someone was mad at me.
Yeah, that happened. But doesn't matter because he's on the internet.
I mean, that does matter more these days, but still.
True.
Especially since, you know, I'm like a public figure relatively.
At the end of the day.
And I was also high.
Yeah.
Man, I saw like this one, the artist that draws way too much Ratu. Ratau. Like that's her fucking Blorbo, and she draws the shit out of it based. I shouldn't even say way too much. They draw enough. But they had like they ship Ratau and the snake. That plays Knucklebones with you.
Ah, okay.
And they're into hypnosis.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just like Ratau being like hypnotized and high as AF, getting banged, and I was like, damn it. I wish I could do that right now.
They would be. Honestly, I'm surprised they're not into the Ratau and the fox.
Some people are, and actually, I made a joke because someone was like, oh, I can't imagine what Uwen would do to Narender's exes or like previous spouses and stuff, and I was like, they're dead, it doesn't matter. Has anyone seen Ratau? And one of the person who always comments on my stuff, and I really appreciate it, was like, obviously Ratau's off doing gay stuff with the snake, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's do that.
Fair.
Yeah, Uwen introduced them again. Because they're hashtag divorced.
They are.
Notice how much more excited I get when I start talking about my fan shit.
Yes, shippies.
Edit? I don't remember their names. There's so many names to remember in the series. Little Nightmares was easier. There's only like 4 people.
I was gonna say.
2 of them haven't even had a game yet.
You got 3 characters and one of them is just Grandma Jump Scare under the water.
Rude. Her name is just Grandma though. Like most of them didn't have names. I like that better. Let's not have names. I'm bad at remembering names.
No more characters. We just have archetypes.
That was actually a problem when I was doing those monster comics. I actually like don't care necessarily to name characters. I don't really think it's important.
Mm-hmm.
But then people want to talk about them, and I realize, oh shit, they want a name. All right, I guess the terrifying mass of tentacles gets a name, I suppose.
Then too late.
But to me, like everything else about the character is important. The name is only important if it like reflects the character, I guess. Because I'm used to just defining characters who are monsters and stuff by like their outward attributes.
Blinky. Blinky, blinky, and no.
Like Pyramid Head.
Red pyramid thing. Ah, yes. Our nemesis. The red pyramid.
Yeah.
Freaking Roger.
Yeah, it's the janitor.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And then you only know that if you zoom in on his like name tag, which you can't do in game. You have to look at like his character model or get one of those hacks that gets you like in first person and move the camera. Which I watched a first person version of the lady fight, and oh my god. Ah!
Wife shrimping and dying in that order.
You just see her mask coming out of the darkness. Oh, it's so hot. Like, oh my god, woman. Just kill me now, damn.
She did?
There was this one person playing through for the first time, and the first time they saw the lady, they went, "Oh, you're pretty," and ran at her, and she strangled him to death.
That sounds right.
As she does.
If there's one...
And I was like, that's just me, man.
I was gonna say, if there's one thing I've learned from y'all folks, that's exactly what would happen. Oh no, I'm in a horror movie. Hello.
Hi. I'll die the way I fucking live.
Like a fucking character out of Final Destination, we know.
Rude. I'm better than Final Destination.
Are ya?
Dude, I don't let fate kill me. I go get the monster myself.
I was gonna say, staring at the hot lady shortly before she murders you sounds exactly like a Final Destination.
That actually happened when I played Devotion. The game by Red Candle that you can't get on Steam. For bullshit reasons. Which is really fucking good. You should all go to Red Candle's website and buy it for like, what, like 15 bucks? It's really good. At one point, it's a point and click game more than anything else. I called it a haunted house walking sim, more or less. There's some puzzles and stuff, but they're not hugely complicated. They're just like to help you understand the narrative. But at one point, your ex-wife starts to chase you, and the camera physically grabs your head and turns you around. And I grabbed the camera and turned my head 360 degrees back, because I was going to look at the woman, and she killed me. And it's like the only way you can die in that game, if you don't run.
Sounds right.
And I was like, well, if that isn't fucking me.
Yeah. Wife, perfectly on brand and dying looking at a horrific monstrosity.
Hey, you need to run from this. Turns you around. No! Turns me around. I want to look at the lady.
I remember with the tall lady in that Tokyo game.
Oh my god, yeah. The combo, like, 8-foot woman / slit mouth woman that they put together. Oh my god, she like picks your ass up by one hand and like puts a pair of scissors right around your neck the first time you see her, and I was just all like, oh my god! I was just having a time. That was hot as fuck.
The shrimp mouth woman over here.
Yes!
Like, man, talk about the
so good though.
Like the precursor to the Lady Dimitrescu.
Lady Dimitrescu, I do like. I don't like her as much as like that one from Tokyo. What is it?
Yeah, I
Ghost Tokyo.
Ghostwire Tokyo.
Ghostwire Tokyo, yeah.
There it is.
Because like she's more of a person and I do prefer the more like terrifying monsters. Like, she's not as terrifying horror themed as them. In fact, like, I would hang out with her.
Yeah.
She seems lovely. I don't know why everyone would be scared of her. She seems like a lovely lady. She just kills men, so who cares?
Drink. You're apparently being called thirsty by chat. Which, to be fair...
I mean, she is very tall, and that is very attractive. And she can kill you, which is also very attractive. And her dress is awesome, and her hat is awesome. I would just want to hang with her. I want to cosplay as her one day. But, like, she's not necessarily, like, as horror as a lot of the things I'm into. So she's a little lower on the totem pole in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
And I still remember when we were, like, watching previews and stuff for it. And I thought everyone liked her because of her ass.
Which is
because
fair.
I'm so anime pilled that I didn't notice the fact that she had huge tits.
Yep.
I was like, why is everyone concentrating on their tits? I thought she had big ass.
Yes.
And you were like, she's got huge tits, honey. And I had to like look at her and I'd be like, oh.
She's like 9 foot tall. Everything on her's huge. That was.
I liked her ass. That dress is so fucking gorgeous. I'm really big into that period of fashion anyway. And you can put just about any woman in one of those things and I will be like just drooling on the floor.
It's true. But yeah, that one, the one sequence where she goes through the doorway and it's just like, oh, I see.
It was when she was like on the phone and like through the whole vanity.
Yep.
I was like, ooh, she's got a really nice ass. And I'm more of like a butt than a boob person anyway, so makes sense. I probably wouldn't notice necessarily. That we had that with Love is Hard for an Otaku, Watokai.
Yeah. When
you were watching it, because I didn't catch like my first watch that she mentioned the other girl had big tits. The girl who crossplays a lot as men.
Yeah.
She's a lovely lady. She's hot as fuck too. She's very tall. And you were watching it with me, and she mentions the fact she's got big tits, and you were like, "Wow, she's got big tits." And I was like, "Wait, she has big tits?"
Yeah.
I did not fucking notice, because she has like big tits in real life.
Right.
Like she's got a big frame in real life, relatively, and she's got what would be considered in the real world as big tits. Probably like, actually like. Somewhat absurdly big tits, but as far as anime goes,
oh yeah,
she's like default.
Yeah, and the funny thing,
she's not even like Senra Kagura big.
Like that was the funny thing. Like I told you that I was like, honey, she is like the archetype of the big tits character. Like she just straight up was the big tits. And like, so it's just funny to me. And you were like, no.
I liked her because she had office lady Dom vibes and crossplayed.
Yeah. Fair.
Why would I be thinking about her tits?
Hi, Bard. How's it going?
I'm wondering where she puts them when she crossplays.
A lot of straps.
Oh, we were watching Rock is a Lady's Modesty. It's a really good anime this season about a girl who's trying to be high class for her mom, but she's really just a rocking gremlin who ends up being like Yuri baited into a band with this drummer girl. Surprisingly, like a really well directed, really well done anime.
Good music too.
Really good music, yeah. I have to use my husband for that because I'm not a music person, but he points out a lot of the really cool music stuff to me. One of my favorite things is they actually like define a lot of the way a band works between bandmates with like the bass and the percussion and the guitar in the form of like BDSM relationships, which is fucking funny as shit. And it's really not even that fan servicey. But one of the chicks is like a tall prince type, but she's actually just really soft on the inside. She's very cute, and she's learning how to play the keyboard to fit in with the rest of the band, whereas everyone else is kind of like these crazy good people. But the thing is, she plays the prince, but she's soft woo as fuck, and she wraps her chest because she has huge knockers, which is to say something here because we already got a girl with huge knockers.
Yeah.
But when they go to do the actual band thing to disguise herself, she doesn't wear her binder. So she's got her huge knockers in a t-shirt that's way too small for her. And she goes to play the keyboard and she looks down at the keys and she can't see past her huge knockers that she was keeping strapped for the entire time she was practicing. And I was like, oh my god!
She goes, oh no, I can't see the keys! And they show a camera angle view of just mountainous terrain and like a quarter of the keyboard at best.
Great tracts of land. And I was like, this is a problem. I get this.
Just fucking
I feel
great.
this as a big-titted lady on a spiritual fucking level, man.
Just the panic and the looking down at like a portion of the keyboard was great.
Crying on stage.
But it is a really, like, it is really fun.
I know sometimes if I got like old titties and I've always had pointy titties to begin with. I didn't have like round titties. I had like ones that stood the fuck out. So long pointy boys on my chest. And I'm getting old, so they're getting flappy because I'm an old hag, as I
Yay.
want to be.
Old hag, old hag.
I'm his old hag.
Yeah.
But because of that, they're getting kind of long in the tooth. So they tend to fold over if I wear the wrong bra, the wrong dress too much, and you gotta adjust them, girls.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd rather be old and comfortable than young and pretty.
That whole anime is so much fun, though.
It's really well done. There's a lot of really good anime this season. We're personally watching Apocalypse Hotel, which I personally think is the best one this season, period. It's so good. It's an original anime done by the people who do the horse racing anime, and it seems like just like they did that so they could have money to do this anime and do whatever the fuck they want.
Oh, it's a gacha game, too.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's just like, what do we do with the infinite money? Well, give it to an artist person and see what they do with it. Oh god, what is all this? And it's just like,
it's basically if Wall-E could talk and also ran a hotel instead of fixed universe.
It's
and
really
there's
cute.
aliens. But it's really good. It starts with very like There Will Come Soft Rain vibes, but quickly goes to like, oh no, they have visitors, they have aliens. And it just gets sillier and over the top from there, like a lot of old anime dids where they just kind of like did whatever the fuck they want. Like, today we're fighting a giant worm. Now we're gonna have a robot fight. Today we're making alcohol, so we're gonna have an episode where we just like googly eye over alcohol shots and stuff like that. It really feels like those 90 animes where they just, I want to do a thing. Does it have anything to do with the genre? Who the fuck cares? And I really appreciate that. And it's really well written, really pretty, and it's gonna make me cry.
Oh, definitely. It's crying.
But there's that. There's the Gundam Quacks, which is pretty good. There's Rock is a Lady's Modesty, which is great, and Yuri Bait that we just talked about. There's the Assassin and the Ninja, which has crazy good direction.
Yeah.
Like, and some of the best animation I've seen in years, and is hilarious as shit. Like, if it wasn't for Apocalypse Hotel, that would be my favorite anime this season, bar none, because it is so fucking good. And my favorite running joke in it is they will introduce these incredibly designed and well animated and characterized ninja girls to assassinate the main betrayer ninja girl. They'll do their big intro, they'll show off their stuff, they'll show off the cool moves, they'll be animated to hell and back, and the assassin will just stab them in the fucking back and they'll be dead.
Immediately.
Like within 5 minutes.
Just walk up, stab them in the gob.
Every
leave.
time, and it never gets old. It's so fucking funny. The first time they did it, where they did that girl that just was like animated like crazy good, and it's directed really well too. The shots are great, the vibe is great, the timing's great. Makes me laugh every episode. There's also the one I forget what it's called, but I think it's called Moo, like Cat Moo, MU, and it's about a cat alien who to end war on their planet, they just killed all the smart people and now they're all fucking stupid. So they came to Earth to try to figure out Earth technology, but they're fucking stupid.
It's just an entire planet of orange cats.
And it's like the most cat-drawn cats I've ever seen. And also, you get to learn about stupid stuff, which is fun.
It is.
You get to learn how microwaves work, or how ACs work, and stuff like that. All while these cats are incredibly fucking destructive.
And dumb as all heck.
Dumb as all heck. It's adorable.
It literally starts off with the alien cat has crashed into her apartment in his spaceship. But don't worry, because it's got cloaking. But also, it is a nuclear bomb and will erase Tokyo if anything happens to it. So it's plugged into the power grid and is bankrupting this poor lady.
It's such a good, cute little show.
It's so fun.
Mother's Basement is who I go to. For like, I'll watch his video. He'll do like the best anime of this season and the best trash. What I'll usually do is I'll look up the season ahead of time and I'll see if there's anything I know or like, and I'll watch that, and then I'll wait for his video that he does every season, and he'll pick up on the stuff that I might have missed, that because I hate I hate missing a nice piece of art that I would have enjoyed the fuck out of.
Right.
So, even if we don't agree on everything, because I think he likes sports anime more than I do, and also I think he thinks with his dick a little too much, just a smidge. Not as bad as some guys, but definitely more than I would like. But he'll still explain why he likes something or why he doesn't like something, and from that, even if he didn't like it, you can understand if you liked it. So his videos are really great, and every month he does, or every season he does the trash anime of the season, and he'll do the best anime of the season. We're waiting for the trash right now.
Yeah.
And it's always good to pick up anything you may not have watched. That's how I ended up watching Wonder Egg Priority, despite the ending. I still really enjoyed that at the time.
It got you into the Akaiba Maid Wars as well.
I forget. I think I watched Akaiba Maid Wars by myself. I think you saw him post the thing for the dance thing, and we're immediately... No, because I watched it and then I found the post for the dance. But Akaiba Maid Wars is a really good fucking anime. That's another good watch.
Yeah.
It's stupid as hell.
Yeah.
But it's played completely straight. It's like a Yakuza game as an anime, but instead of like Yakuza men, it's girls in maid outfits, but it's just as gory and violent and dramatic. And stupid.
So fun, though.
It's so stupid and fun. I love the shit out of it.
For anybody who just wants a silly time, just go watch the maid thing.
Oh, it's just such a good anime to begin with, too. Like, it's the fact that it's played 100% straight is so good. And plus, it has a woman who's like, what, like 35 in it?
Yeah.
That alone is great. As someone who wants more old women in anime to start with. Oh man, a woman turning 35, yes please. Which is sad.
Aged woman who is played as aged woman.
And she looks 35 too. She's got the nice deep voice. She's jaded from the world. She's great.
They have a Casablanca episode.
Oh yeah, and she gets like a dude. That was hot. But also she's just she's the only one who got fan service. The anime doesn't really have fan service, and the only fan service was her with her top off, sewing up her bullet wounds.
Yeah.
And you don't even see her tits.
Nope, don't need to.
Need to.
Already got the rest.
That show is so crazy. I should rewatch that with the dub.
Oh, I wonder what the dub would be like, yeah. The dub would probably be a lot of fun for that.
Sometimes if I really enjoy an anime, I'll watch it again with the dub just to let it play in the background while I'm doing art. Because I can't really like sit and rewatch an anime with subtitles because I got shit to do. I'm a working adult. I'm doing y'all's commissions.
We watched that one episode of G-Quux with the dub on. It's actually pretty solid.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I'm just gonna make this gray for like a non.
Oh, you know the guy who did the voice for Senshi in the English dub, right? He apparently also voices a Pokemon.
Oh, what Pokemon?
King Gambit.
I don't know who that is.
The one that's like the Samurai Lord Pokemon. The newest one, like
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Hold up. I have.
I did Sun and Moon, and I don't know any after that.
I know. Let me see.
Mimikyu is the most perfect Pokemon ever. Why would I need to know any more?
That's fair. I think you would recognize it if you saw it.
Hey. Oh, okay.
I thought I liked. Crap. I gotta remember what his name. There it is.
There was that one Ultra Beast that just screamed. I liked him.
See, it's the one that's, Nobunaga, the Pokemon.
I think I saw him once.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
But anywho, he apparently voices that.
Good.
So he got a Pokemon card of it.
They give you a Pokemon card when you voice a Pokemon?
No, he bought it.
Oh.
He said he always...
They should, though.
They should. That'd be awesome.
Why don't they? They should. If you voice a Pokemon, you should get the card.
I would think that'd be awesome.
How many fucking people are voicing Pokemon that they can't do that?
I think, like, that would be... I just think that's fun to give, like, voice actors their character anyway.
They should, yeah.
A lot of things do. What would you give him for Senshi, a giant walk?
I'd give him a Senshi doll.
Ah, that'd be fun.
Like, they should at least... I don't think they should get all of the tat, necessarily. Because that would get expensive.
Yeah.
But, like, you can't tell me, like, them voicing the thing don't get them, like, a plushie or a figure or some shit.
Yeah, I think they should give them tat for it.
Give the bitches tat.
Especially for some characters, like, that makes the character.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it wasn't for, what's his name? I think it's David Hayter, the guy that did the, you know, Metal Gear Solid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it weren't for that, like, that would be a completely different character. You know, like whenever Mark Hamill does the Joker.
I wonder how much Joker merch Mark Hamill has.
So much.
I would have so much.
You gotta believe that he's gotten so much stuff. Either people sending it to him or him just getting it for himself. I can 100% believe that.
If I ever met Mark Hamill, I would make him sign my Joker shit.
Oh, yeah. Because he's neat.
I'd be like, Mark Hamill, the Joker. I did other things. No.
I did other things. Yeah, you were in that one bio-boosted Guyver movie.
Yeah!
You became a slug.
If I ever found, like, Jon Stewart, I'd be like, you were in that one horror movie. I would love to do that. That would be so funny. They'd probably like it. Or they'd be fucking annoyed because they wouldn't remember they did it. I imagine there's so many fucking, like, actors who don't remember half the shit they've been in because I don't remember half the things I've drawn.
Yeah, just like an obscure role they did or something.
Some people are like, you drew this. And I was like, I did? I don't fucking know. I do a lot of things, man.
Why? Question mark? Yeah, see, it's right here. Oh, guess I did.
That's why I'm like, include your character's pictures with the stuff, because I don't remember. I don't. I'm sorry, I do not. I am not smart. And I draw so many things. I do so many of these a month. No offense, your character is not special enough, no matter how cool they are, for me to remember, because I've done so many, I will not. That's not your character's problem. I don't even think that's my problem. Just the amount is too much.
Gotta download more brain RAM.
I'm not gonna download more brain RAM for your OC, I'm sorry.
You know what's funny? There is a little, like, Windows 98 themed roguelike that just came out recently. And one of the things that you can get as a power-up is download RAM. And it just has a little progress bar that goes. That's it. That's all it does.
I'm sorry. I'm sure your OC is lovely. And you love the shit out of it. I've drawn like 500 of them.
It's the end of your OC as you know it.
And I will not remember. As soon as the stream is over, I don't remember anything I've drawn.
Turn the computer off. RAM empty.
And that's not my fault.
Nope.
This stream over, I'm probably either gonna play Bloomtown or I'm gonna draw my own shit.
Yeah. Draw Yoshi, draw Yoshi, draw Yoshi.
Because after this, I'm considering it the weekend and I'm gonna draw my own crap. I have... Okay, before I do a piece, sometimes I will, just get together all the references or ideas for it on a blank canvas, and I will just name the canvas the idea. I do this because, I mean, I have time to, like, do it, but I want to remember the idea, and I want to do it later.
Right.
I have, like, 5 of those right now, and I want to do at least one of them.
It's too late.
John Delancey cute? Yeah. Apparently, he kind of hated the bronies. He's kind of rude about them. I was like, bro, not nice.
Spider's Billy D, who draws 10,000 OTs a month.
They're not mine! So it's not my fault.
It's true, though.
It's true, yeah. I like it. I love drawing people's OCs, and I love drawing stuff for people and having them see their critters or ideas come to life. That's fun as hell, and it makes me do a lot of things I wouldn't do. I'm not gonna remember. I love you, I'm not.
Okay, I love you, bye-bye.
I say that at the end of streams, but I wonder if, like, the audience is even old enough to get that. Or American. Bard. Yeah, but Bard's not American. Paul, you have to bother me.
I mean, Bard would get it. Bard's old enough.
Yeah, but he's not American. I don't know if he watched Tiny Toons. Or Looney Tunes. Actually, I kind of forget.
It was Tiny Toons, yeah.
No, it might have been on Animaniacs.
What's it? No, I think it was Tiny
Toons. I think it was on Animaniacs. They had more skit-based ones.
I think it was Tiny Toons. I'm gonna look that up.
I forget her name, but I think it was on Animaniacs.
It's Mindy from Animaniacs, so you are correct.
Okay, I love you, bye-bye. I think, like, Baby Plucky also said it on Animaniacs.
I think that's what I'm thinking of. Either way.
The ball go down the hole.
Either way, we're old. We're old and we know things. Forbidden things.
I mean, it was also an American thing, like in the 90s, so I don't necessarily know if it would have made it over your ways. Not a huge loss.
Yeah, Tiny Toons was fun.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the WB shows were really good. But they were also, like, specifically American, so it's understandable that other countries may not have necessarily got them in any way.
New York. Went to Amsterdam.
Who sings that song, Paul?
I could say that they might be giants.
Let's keep it that way.
Illegal! How dare plus rude? Divorce! All the divorce.
I'm evil.
So much.
Ha! I get to win the divorce card today, not you. Ha 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 ha.
Mean to poor husband.
Uh-huh.
Having fun time seeing. Wife mocks me at. Why humor? All I want to do is sing, make wife dead, make husband sad. TV. You know, honestly, we haven't really watched TV in forever.
I haven't watched TV since I left my fucking mom's house, like, period. And I didn't really watch anything on there anyway, so.
Honestly, I watched, like, Netflix occasionally.
I just watch YouTube and Hoopla and pirate things.
Hoopla! I liked the cooking shows, as I want to do.
I like Adams Ruins Everything.
Yeah, that's fun.
That's it.
Jesus, a lot of information.
Boo. 0 out of 10.
No longer am I booed.
You're also booed. He's your friend.
I haven't done nothing. I behaved. I'm just sitting here being cute.
He says.
I am. You say I'm cute every day. Means I win. Wife says I'm cute.
Yeah, you are. I'm sure Barb watched a lot of stuff that we didn't watch too.
Probably. It's always interesting to think about like what the exposure to different things is like in different countries.
Different sets of memes.
Oh no, memes.
Though Americans stole a lot of children's stuff from Europe because they have a better area to do that.
Yeah.
Like they actually give their fucking people money.
Oh no, money, that's illegal.
How does it feel to have healthcare and people wanting your fucking country to survive?
Nah. Sounds fake. It's like the toilets running the opposite directions.
Is that true?
Probably not.
I don't think it would matter.
I can't imagine it does. If Taylor was around at the moment, we'd ask.
How would they know though? Because they wouldn't know our toilets.
Well, they would know. That'd be the joke.
I don't even know which fucking direction toilets drain anyway, and I don't really care.
We'll go with clockwise.
I don't care.
Largely irrelevant, but it's funny nonetheless.
This bitch just have her whole pussy out.
As you do. Isn't that the point of that anime?
True.
I feel like I don't remember much from that anime, but I'm pretty sure of that one.
Oh, I remember a lot, and I still have some of it as references. I actually ended up going through the manga again after the anime came out, and some of the shit in there was hornier, damn.
Really?
Like, than the anime.
Huh.
That's not usually how that happens, because anime actually has a lot more censors. So I was impressed.
Yeah, no, that's impressive.
I was like, how do you get hornier than this? Who are you people?
Yes, says the anime.
I mean, it was still like the same fetishes, but they like specifically did more shit with them, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Or the shots were hornier. Oh, Wang.
Wang.
Yeah. Yeah, I love his videos. They're great. I love them.
She says, using them specifically to cause torment.
To you, maybe. I'm having fun.
She do use them specifically to torment me.
You specifically.
Me specifically.
I'm trying to think of what's a good one by him. I thought the one with like the weird pinhead monster thing was cool. How they finally found that. Hi, Pixel.
Hi, Pixel.
You might be next, I forget.
Might be giant. Anyway.
Well, our toilet broke.
Yeah, that would suck.
That's why he's home.
Yep. They didn't show up for a bit. They are usually very good. Like, at least we have the reasonable expectation that if we put in a thing for please help, they are there that day. And reasonably quickly. So, that has been nice. Terrible, Bard.
Is Superman circumcised? Can he be circumcised?
It would have been done when he was much younger, so yeah. Would have been doable then. His invulnerability and stuff didn't kick in.
Actually, if he was circumcised, they probably would have done it on his home planet, wouldn't they?
No, he arrived here as a baby.
Yeah, but like you do it, like especially like in America, like soon as they pop out. Like within days.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure they would have been able to do it on his home planet because why would they have Christianity on Krypton?
It's not a Christian thing to do, it's a Jewish thing to do.
They wouldn't have Judaism either.
Exactly. So it's probably not.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't know, there was that one comic where they didn't censor his dick enough. I bet we would find out from that.
Off to take a nap.
I mean, he has to shave himself with, like, his own laser eyes, so...
Mm. Yeah, with Wolverine, he regenerates, so you'd probably be right, Bard. That's a little separate matter. It's like, he does regenerate, so... I'm gonna go with a probably.
I think he would probably stop after a while. It would get annoying.
Yeah. I don't think he has any particular religious beliefs. He doesn't seem to really care one way or the other. It doesn't seem to affect him much.
God won't let him die. Of course he doesn't.
I mean, he knows that Satan is real. He's been there. In one thing where he, one possible ending for Mr. Wolverine is, taking the place of somebody else and going to hell instead of them, and then taking over hell. Because, like, being down there is kind of what he deserves for the hundreds of years of murder and stuff. But also, you know, he's learned his lesson and ended the cycle of revenge by allowing himself to die. So,
This is sort of that argument I've had before. Like, if something came to Earth and 100% claimed it was like a biblical angel and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Would that be proof for God? Because how could you 100% prove they were a biblical, you know, an actual biblical angel?
Mm-hmm.
They could have all the traits, but they could just be aliens that, like, studying you and are lying.
Yep. And that's the thing, like,
So if hell exists, that doesn't necessarily mean a God exists. Could be entirely separate from God, who knows?
I mean, like, we know...
Could be entirely separate from Christianity.
Yeah. Because, like, okay, so we know, like, the spirit of vengeance. We know that there is theoretically angels. But, again, we don't know if they're, like, angels, or if they're just, like, really powerful thing. Like, we know gods are there, like the Greek gods and stuff like that, but we also know that they can get their asses killed. So how godly are they?
I think to prove like a god, like a creator god would be real, you'd have to first like completely define what that is.
Yeah.
And I don't really think you can, because by defining it, you limit it.
Mm-hmm.
And like traditionally the Christian god is unlimitable. Like the whole like, can a god create something so heavy he can't lift it type deal.
Right.
So I don't think you could actually necessarily prove, even if you had like every other thing from Christianity, that God is necessarily real. Though, under that whole argument, God would probably know a way to prove that he is real as well. Like, at least as far as like comics and shit go.
So like in Marvel, because this is one that I actually know a little more on, Marvel has, you know, gods like Thor, like Ares and stuff like that.
But those kind of ones are defined too, so
they are.
It makes sense that like those can be real and be proven that they are most likely that.
And not only that, but they can be killed. Sentry rips Ares in half at one point. It does actually kill him. But there are also like higher level beings and things like that. There, at least nowadays, there is the one below all, who is the source of the Hulks in just period. And then there's the one above all, who would theoretically be the Marvel god.
In Sandman, there's like the creator, which is like the Christian god necessarily.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they are. They are like the beyond the concept of the universe and above that.
Though in Sandman, the only reason pretty much anything exists is because people have a concept of it. So that's a whole chicken and the egg scenario.
Yep. Because like there's the White Room, or the White Hot Room, depending on what comic it's in, and that's like basically outside of the Marvel universe, but also like the center of it kind of deal. And they have healed the walls a bit and taken stuff from it. Because, of course, it's comics. And so now they have some new shiny toys kind of thing that they have taken from there. Including a new Iron Man armor made out of stuff because, he's one of the few people that wasn't turbo bigoted about mutants. Which is saying something. And so they made him a new armor at one point during the Marvel Comics of, like, the firmament of the universe. But in one thing, because Phoenix is like a force of life and change kind of thing, in one universe, Wolverine becomes the basically final host for the Phoenix. Because what is more life than the thing that just doesn't fucking die?
I'm sorry, Bard, but you can't scientifically disprove something is impossible. Because you can only prove that it is incredibly unlikely to happen. That's how, like, science works. You can only prove what can happen, not what can't happen.
Yeah.
You can prove what is the most likely to happen and what is the most likely to not happen. But I used to be in, like, the atheist argue sphere, and, like, this is a thing that comes up a lot. You can't disprove God, but you can't really, like, prove him either, because you have to define him. And then you gotta listen to people like fucking Lobster Man, Jordan Peterson, toss out bullshit. God is consciousness. Shut up. Not even fun anymore now. I'm just doing it theoretically. It's like a fun brain exercise, and you're just being an asswipe.
It really is.
Because I literally do not care. I'm an atheist, but, like, I totally support everyone with their beliefs and everything. Because if it helps them and they're not hurting anyone, I don't give a fuck. In fact, I encourage it. If it helps you and it makes you feel better, you should definitely do it. That too, yeah. Again, like, angels, I feel like you could potentially prove that they're angels, because angels can be more defined. But you can't necessarily prove by proving those are angels, like they do all the things angels can do, and they say they're from God. You can't necessarily prove a God with that. That's sort of my argument. It's a fun little, like, brain thing I've always kind of messed with. Mostly as, like, how would a scientific society, how would, like, a science fiction society work with this concept and stuff like that? Not more of, like, I'm gonna argue against Christians do this, because I don't care.
I guess the only real thing is, like, if they are an angel, at least a biblical angel, they would have had to have been created by a god, because that's kind of, like, part of the fundamental of them.
But that's the thing, you could define them by everything they are, but since you can't define God necessarily, at least like the Christian, all-powerful, all-everything God, I don't think you could. You would just prove that these angels are everything that an angel could be, but you couldn't prove that necessarily God exists because of these angels. Sort of like the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where, like, they do everything in the universe possible to make tea without making tea. Not entirely unlike tea. It's technically everything that's in tea, but it's not tea.
I guess that's really the thing. If you define them as, like, I should put this, like, angels have to be made by God, ergo, if there are angels, there's God.
Yeah, but you'd have to prove that part, I guess. You could prove them that they're real angels, but, like, if you define what an angel can do, when and where and why. But I don't know if you could necessarily do that. I mean, you could define a human by everything, and then say, like, see, this human exists, thus a mother exists. And then, like, they were somehow, like, done in a lab or something like that. I think it's debatable.
Yeah.
And it's a fun thing to, like, think about if you're doing science fiction and stuff like that. About how they would potentially prove that or prove not. And, like, a Christian god is a specifically interesting concept to play with as far as, like, mental questions, because it is so ill-defined. Because it has to be everything and nothing, the alpha and omega. I've always thought it was fun anyway.
It is. That's really the thing, is, like, once you get down to it, isn't also part of it that, like, how could you define it with our limited understanding?
Exactly. Maybe you can't define it at all. I think you can't necessarily, there was a almighty, all-powerful, everything God, I don't think you could define it as a human being. It's sort of like how you can't necessarily define the universe before the start of the universe, because it wouldn't necessarily be it wouldn't be controlled by any of our laws of physics or math or any concept we have now.
Yeah.
So
there was a this one video that I like to watch, and
a man. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Are they angels, or are you just going like, look, a man?
Behold, a man.
Yeah.
They're in the death battle one. They actually talked about an interesting thing, and that was that every dimension you add on top of something like 2D to 3D is infinitely more of something. So every time you go to a higher level dimension, that thing is infinitely more than something in a lesser dimension. So even if you defined God as someone living in a higher dimension, that would just mean that they are infinitely scaled more than you. So it wouldn't even matter, because you really couldn't even define or comprehend them.
Exactly. It's very eldritch. How would you explain 3D to something that only lived in a 2D plane for its entire existence? You couldn't. They would have no concept of 3D at all.
Yeah, it would be meaningless to them.
It would be eldritch and just impossible to understand.
Cool though.
It is cool. Like, I love to think about that kind of shit. Because I like, you know, it makes me think of like sci-fi character design and stuff like that.
Behold, creature.
And my like time in the atheist mines really like set my brain in that type of like questioning stance, and I'd rather be in that kind of questioning stance. I don't want to be like the whole Jordan Peterson is like, define this, but I do think it's a fun like brain exercise.
Yeah, I think the other thing with the Jordan Peterson is just like, he says it that way entirely just to be a cunt. Like, he doesn't want to actually talk about anything or engage with anything, so he will actively sit there saying that shit specifically to not engage at all. And I think that's just being a little cunt.
He's just a little cunt. He just thinks he's smarter than everyone and wants everyone to know it. And he thinks you're being disrespectful by even trying to discuss something he sees as like permanent and solid, even though he won't tell it to you.
I mean, I am being disrespectful to him, but that's on a personal level.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to be, but also, fuck you, buddy. I can, and you can't stop me.
Fuck you, guy.
I'm not your guy, pal.
I'm not your pal, buddy.
I'm not your buddy, friend.
I'm not your friend, pal. That was fun.
I'm more inclined to believe in aliens than I would anything else, just because, like, if something as statistically impossible as human beings coming about, which, not impossible, but, like, statistically, there's a lot of steps there. So if something like humans can come about here, why couldn't something like humans come about somewhere else?
I don't think it's as impossible as a lot of people talk about, because the universe is unfathomably big and unfathomably old. So things that statistically seem impossible have just so many chances to potentially, like, it's the whole like monkeys doing Hamlet.
Yeah.
Statistically, they would eventually come out with something that was Hamlet. Whether or not it was intentional or not. It, like, if you, like, put a number generator in something forever, and it did letters in, like, as many possible combinations as there could be, it would eventually produce Hamlet.
Yeah.
If you gave it as long as the universe has been around and how big it has been. In fact, one of the things that always hit me was, not only is it possible for life to come about and build a society, but it's possible it has already happened so long ago and spread throughout the entire universe that the universe has had enough time to basically completely lose any remnants of when that happened.
It's had time enough to forget.
Well, it's had time enough for any, like, leftovers from that to completely, like, dissolve.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you need to think about the universe in an incredibly bigger way than you can even think about anything, which our little monkey brains are not designed to do, so it makes sense people don't.
That's one thing I like with Stargate. It's like everything else is gone except for like remnants kind of deal. And some other people have come about and went, oh, we know how to use those. And like, that's it. And like in the 40K stuff, the Necrons, that is their whole gig, is just existing for so long that other races just have simply ceased to be. And they don't even care.
I mean, think how amazing the lifespan of a human is to, like,
An ant.
An ant, a fly that lives a day.
Mm-hmm.
Incomprehensibly long. You'd never be able to understand it or keep up with it. Think about the human lifespan compared to, like, a rock. It wouldn't, our little brains aren't, they're little monkey brains. They're not designed to comprehend that. So, of course, we're bad at comprehending it.
We've barely gotten past fruit on tree look good. Fruit on tree look delicious. That am tiger. Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's basically Jordan Peterson. We were watching a video about him today. I forgot how annoying he was because I haven't heard about him in a good while. God, that man's so annoying.
He's right up there with that guy that I always thought was just sped up in people's videos, and turns out, no, he just sounds like a hamster in person.
God, he does. He was also on that show. Fuck, now I forgot his name. Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
God, he's annoying too. They're all so annoying. No wonder their wives leave them.
I'm the smartest man you know. You're a cunt.
Dun dun dun, you're a cunt.
Don't even engage. Just tell them that to their face and then leave. And it just fucking boggles their little empty minds. Do not engage. Do not collect $500. Tell them they're a cunt and leave. And then watch them detonate.
Oh no, they'll talk on the internet how they totally outdid you.
Oh yeah, they'll be super pissy about it. Like a little baby back bitch.
Oh, I'm not baby bad bitch.
Why be the cutest area? I stole a dodo.
That's nice, sweet.
Yes, it is. I don't know what it's good for, but I took one. It's mine now. I sit here doing fishing. Then I got distracted and I've been doing a bunch of things. Whoops. Me easily distracted by everything. Uh-oh!
Yeah.
In my defense. I forgot what my defense was. See, I know I'm supposed to be sitting here and fishing for a while. That's what I need to be doing, because there's equipment that you can get from fishing that lets you fishing better.
They'll let you fishing better.
But also, after like 30 seconds of brain span, they can...
You're a brain span.
So instead I'm out here just wandering around. Ah! That's poison. Now I need to go back to the base and I need to collect another thingy so I can catch another dodo.
What, $200?
Dodo-dio. I think dodos are neat.
I think you're neat.
You're neat. Everybody go watch that show. It's literally free on YouTube.
Oh, Moral Oral? Yeah, it's great.
Amoral oral. Do you think he's immoral by the not immoral? Do you think he's like no longer a Christian by the end of it?
No, actually.
Yeah.
I think he's actually still incredibly Christian. Just because the people around you are assholes, if you still get that like joy and support from your religion, I think you should stick with it. You should just get away from those people.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's definitely around some bad people.
I mean, if like religion helps you in general, I don't think you should necessarily disconnect yourself from it. I mean, you can, and keep the ideals as well. That would be what I would do. But if it's something that gives you, you know, help in dark times and helps you connect to people or do volunteer work and stuff like that, why not keep with it? You don't necessarily have to believe in it for it to help you. You don't necessarily have to believe in it to go to church and be with your, you know, fellow man and help people and be, you know, get, you know, a bit of revitalization in this hard ass world. You know, go off, do it.
Yeah.
World hard.
I guess the it's like the messenger message, not the messenger. Sorry. Like that's honestly like for me, and I had a very good church experience at first with the one church that had the pancake breakfasts and stuff like that, and it was a very nice church and had a very good priest.
Got the big breakfast.
But then after a little bit, they do what a lot of churches do, which is swap priests out every few years. And the replacement priest was just dun 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 dun. Dun. He was a cunt. He was one of those ones that's like the why aren't you giving enough kind of people, and was just an asshole. And like I think it was like half the church left by the time the folks left that church. And that pretty well was a formative experience kind of thing. So it's like, oh, okay, no, some people are just assholes. Got it.
It's true. Some people are just assholes.
Yep. So, but like at the same time, you know, obviously getting older and stuff, I'm just like, be nice to people. That's all I really needed to take out of this. Be nice to people. Just be good to each other.
There are definitely some episodes of More Oral that need like a not a content warning, but a like
maybe a little.
I don't necessarily know. It's not like the content is necessarily gross or inappropriate or anything like that. It's like these might be triggering subjects covered really well.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it is.
Like dire stuff happens.
Content warning, we're gonna take this thing and cover it really well. Run. Alright, Minty's up.
Yeah,
Since
Minty.
Pixel took a nap, we'll wait on Pixel. We'll actually do it in order so I don't miss anybody. It is a really good show, though. I think the first season's kind of meh, but it gets really good as it goes on. This first season's still funny. We could do without the spooge one, though.
The egg one was pretty gross.
It was supposed to be, though.
It did what it was set out to do.
And then everyone's like, oh, I see all these videos about it. It's like, people slept on... I didn't. I specifically came in, like, I think the first time I watched it was around season 2. And I was like, oh no, this is really cool. I'm gonna watch this. No, I started watching originally, and the last episode of season 1 is supposed to be the Christmas one, but they showed it backward. Like, they showed the first one last, or the last one first by accident.
Hey.
And it's the most fucked up episode of season 1, which is more like season 2. And then they show the rest of season 1, so I was a little bummed by that, but I was like, nah, it has that Christmas episode to it, so I'm gonna stay because that's a cool fucking episode, and I kept with it. I love that kind of shit.
I think for me, I think I watched a bunch of it, and then eventually it was just like, alright, I get what they're going for, and I started watching other stuff at the time, but like, I don't think I ever thought of it as bad or anything.
Oh no, I thought like, the first season is just not as good as the rest of the season. First season's more of the regular Adult Swim fare.
Yeah.
So I just didn't like it as much as the rest, but the final episode is definitely more like the actual you know, above par content of season 2. So I stayed for like, because I saw that and I was like, I want to see that come back to this, and I kept up with it after that. So I was there for all like the really big shit going down in it. Because I like shows that make me upset.
Yeah.
I like shows that make me cry. I like shows that like push me. I like seeing people creatively show their trauma and explore it in that way. That's just who I am. I like that shit.
I think it was just a good show.
It was very well done. It definitely showed that like Adult Swim could be more than just, you know, 2-ounce mouse. And that's what like made me sad about it, because it's like they were very like, let's take anything and that's thrown at the wall and see if it sticks. And sometimes that got you, you know, Squidbillies, and sometimes that got you Moral Oral, and like I was always there for that, like times they would get Moral Oral, like the better episodes of Rick and Morty and that kind of shit. You know, like when they actually gave people money and let them actually try to do something worth anything with it. But damn if you had to sit through the rest of that crap.
Yeah.
And it sucked.
Or like the prison one. Yeah, right.
Super Jail.
Super Jail. There was a lot
Super Jail was just animated really well. I don't really think it went all that hard in anything deep though.
No, I don't think so. But like Super Jail, like a lot of times had really good stuff. And then like Metalocalypse, same kind of thing.
Metalocalypse might have poked at some things.
I think so.
I think it was funny and it was fun, but
it was fun.
I don't think it really went all that deep on anything.
No, other than like occasionally talking about family can be good or bad kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or the therapy one, that was fun. We just found out you can just buy validation. See?
I have trouble with that, yeah.
The fucking banana sticker.
I don't think Metalocalypse is bad. It's just not like, it's not going as, it's not, I prefer things that are a little like deeper than that, just in general. Like I like the anime that everyone thinks is boring. I do. I like Evangelion for stuff besides the waifus, that kind of shit.
Illegal.
So I'm looking for that kind of stuff. Just because I like something doesn't mean the other things are bad. It's just that's what I'm looking for.
And then we sit down and watch the history of Tokusatsu.
That was fun.
That was fun.
I want to watch the Akuba Rangers. I need to find that.
I'm glad you liked that, though. I'm glad you found that.
I mean, it's basically one like a celebration of Akihabara, which I'm always a big fan of. But it's also just like the only thing I really like about Sentai. I'm not the kind who's into like the, you know, big shonen actionness of it. Right. So I like the silliness, and I rather see the silliness, and that's just silliness.
Yep. I like that one. We watched a little video, and it had a bunch of little clips from Akihabara Ranger, and there's the one part where there's like the cute little cat girl that works at the comic shop place or whatever, and her ears falls off, and she goes, "Oh no, my cat ears," in the deepest fucking way.
Which might have been an Eiko reference. I gotta rewatch Eiko sometime.
Eiko, Biko, Siko, Biko.
Yes, they're all in there.
Yeah. I get that, right? I get that. Occasionally.
I really want to rewatch Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei, but there's so much of it, and it's not dubbed at all. I don't even know if you could. I don't think you could, not without a big explanation to back or a lot of, you know, changing stuff.
Yeah, I appreciate the way they did it in the manga, because I do think that was a good idea, having like the back section with like...
Just like 12 pages of explanations of jokes.
This is what this means. Like,
I always found that fun. You got to learn something. But I'm not someone who necessarily, like, thinks if a joke is explained to you, it's not funny.
Yeah.
I'm so, like, I've literally showed you stuff and been like, is this funny? And it's for like something I'm not into, and you'll be like, oh yeah, and you explain it, I'm like, ha! I learned something and I got to laugh. To me, that's bonus.
Yeah.
I love to laugh. Plus, I just love the way Setsuko Sensei looks. Both the manga and the anime. The anime is so fucking gorgeous. It does so many weird things. I love it. It is like peak anime for me because it does so much with so little and it does such weird shit. And there's almost no sense to anything.
None of this makes any sense. That's fine.
Well, it does like 5 layers deep, but it's stupid. It's just, it's very free in that, you know, like, hey, we only have $5, so we're just gonna, like, cut a bunch of corners and find weird ways to do it to make a joke funny. Like, here, instead of, like, drawing this man, here's an actual, like, cutout of a actual picture of a man in his underwear running away.
As you do. It's like with like Pop Team Epic where they had some of the stuff was like really well animated, really well done, and then some stuff was like the craziest fucking shit you've seen done with somebody with a flip book.
Yeah, but Pop Team Epic is more that as a piece of artwork, whereas Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei is more like we gotta do 12 episodes, bro. I don't know, it's hard to explain. Pop Team Epic.
Pop Team Epic. Like even Pop Team Epic and doing the dubbing it with 2 different voice actors for it was a lot of fun.
That was one thing about it I did really like that is more Zetsubo Sensei. It's like, here is something we did for fun because we thought it was cool and funny. Instead of like, here is what, you know, the people we asked think is funny. And so like, it feels like more artist controlled. And I'd rather see something that isn't as funny controlled by artists and done in their weird artist ways and see something new than see something done by like the whole group and be like, okay, yeah, this is what we're gonna do.
This has been crafted by comedians. Like,
yeah, committee, that's it, thank you. I'd rather see something made from the heart and not be as good than something made by committee and just be something you've seen before and now are seeing again.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to see what people do with things. I want to see how they express themselves. It's fun. But I don't like AI.
Before we started the stream, I was actually watching Legal Eagle because he was talking about some AI stuff that had went down. And so what it was the bar exam.
Oh, yeah.
So most of the country has a set bar exam kind of thing. And it's done 2 times a year. And each state generally has a bunch of different places to be able to take it. But a lot of the states' bar exams is like its own like independent little thing. The California state bar exam was struggling for money because California is massive and has a lot of people, so it requires a lot of space and all this other jazz. So because of that, a separate entity was like, hey, we can help y'all out, particularly after COVID. They're like, hey, we can be able to offer it by a computer so that people who are at home or other things can do this, and that'll make it much easier and much cheaper for everybody. So they allowed them to do that, and they were like, yeah, we're not going to change it because there's laws about changing the bar exam in California and stuff like that. So they're like, we're not going to really change it. We're going to do it the same way it's been done and stuff like that. Because it used to be an option to be able to do it on a small scale for like, people that are pregnant or things like that.
Makes sense.
But they were gonna offer it as a, you get to the system and everybody takes it at the same time and that kind of jazz. Well, this company then subcontracted out a bunch of the stuff, including to this one group to write a bunch of the questions, who immediately used AI for it.
Of course.
which they said was fine, in fact, because we used AI to create the question and then had a group of professional test makers look at it with quote-unquote subject matter experts there as well to, you know, to make it be fine.
Bullshit.
So something like 30 out of 120 questions were AI generated. So that was a thing. But also, this company that, you know, offered it didn't have a good system, and it crashed and fucked up and was grading people off of other people's work and shit like that. It was falling apart.
Of course.
And like, you know, when you do it, you have like a big, there's only 2 a year.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to take one or the other. And the one is like right after like school would end,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. So you would usually go and you would, you know, have a couple weeks off, and you'd take a little time and study and then take the thing right after you got out of school.
Yeah.
The other one is usually for people who are retaking it or professionals and things like that. So these are all the people that have had way more time and are way better at it. And like the usual percentage of people passing it was like 65, and theirs was like 50. But also there were so many problems and so many people who just flat out could not even take the test all day and things like that. And then they found out it was also done with AI, and then there were lawsuits and things. And so like it fell apart and then kept falling apart. And so like California is suing them, and the colleges were like, hey, this is so bad, we are literally willing to offer you our spaces to be used for the bar exam, as well as our own people to help be proctors for it.
Yeah.
Because we don't want you to ever do this again. So like it's a phenomenal failure.
Yeah, I think there's actually been multiple lawyers who did that.
Yeah, there has been. One tried to claim that it was just the thing was right, but it just said the wrong titles. But others have been just straight up made it up.
Which sucks, because we do need lawyers right now. As much as people talk shit about lawyers, which is understandable, they are the only thing that can fight against all the fascism that's going right now. Due process is part of, like, the American right.
Mm-hmm.
And they're fighting to make sure it stays.
Yeah.
So we want more lawyers.
Yeah, that's part of what part of what some of the tactics have been, has just been try to undermine the due process and the legal system.
Mm-hmm. If we do it fast enough, you don't have to do due process.
Yeah.
There's too many people to do process for.
That's not a them problem.
Well, then stop doing it as much.
Guess what? That's a you problem, buddy. You can't do anything else until you do process them, or else. But, you know, again, now we're at the or else part, which is what nobody thought would ever really happen.
It's almost like we had those things out there for a reason, and people should get punished for not doing them. Who would have thought?
Yep. Well, like I said, now we're at the, you know, fuck around and find out. So let's see what they find out, I suppose.
The anti-fascists were right all along. Fascism is bad.
Wow, how come all these other elections and literally everywhere else are just going, yeah, we don't want any of that, and losing en masse?
Based. I'm so jealous.
But alright. Meanwhile, we're gonna write a strongly worded letter. There was one thing I saw, it was talking about a Democrat who didn't die in office. He did die at 97. And it said
they're part of the problem, not letting like new people in.
Well, he did actually retire. I think he retired back in like 2017 or 2016. So he retired a bit ago. Mm-hmm. He actually did retire, but I think it said he served like 10 terms. It was one
Just
of the,
go home and be with your family. Damn.
Yeah, it was one of those, like, he did actually retire. Everybody else, do that. Take note, please.
Why would you? I hate this whole grind set shit. Like, just go home and be with your family.
Yeah, especially given that, you know, they make money forever after the job.
Yeah.
And, like, unless they're, like...
They want to make more money.
Unless they're fired for treason kind of thing, they make money forever afterwards. And, you know, they have health care forever afterwards. So what
Must
do
be
they
fucking nice.
And that, you know, and a lot of them too, because like that's how you get into the politics. Is they had high-end jobs beforehand.
I mean, there's people like Bernie and Ruth Bader Ginsburg who stayed in so long because no one else was fighting for what they were fighting for, but I'm pretty sure more people will take bribes if you leave, so you can leave.
Yeah.
You already got your bribes. Shut up. Go away. Go home. Go to sleep.
Yeah.
Spend time with your grandchildren.
Most of them, like, there's a lot of people who absolutely don't believe in anything they're not paid to believe, kind of thing.
Yeah.
They will go in and they will flounder on everything. And like, you know, even right now, Muskrat being like, oh yeah, I'm totally retiring right now because there's several legal cases that are ongoing right now, and if any of them come to any conclusion, they'll find out that I was running Doge like I said I was and tweeted I was and the president said I was, and if I was running Doge, everything I did gets undone because that's illegal.
Yes.
That's literally, he was not approved by Congress to run a thing like that. And if he was, which again, he was, the president said he said he was, he acted like he was, the lady who purportedly on paper should have been doing the job was on vacation in Mexico.
Yes, we all already know this shit.
So, because of that, any actions taken, including like storming that place with private security that was not an actual government agency because they wanted to steal the building, suddenly gets really bad.
Oh, that's why it was a locked layer. Okay.
Wrong layer, Croc.
We're almost done. 2 more.
We had 2 things of sixlets.
Yeah, eat one.
This one has little cats and little outfits. Did you not see? Look at them. They're little cats in little outfits.
That is precious.
There was so much in that box, y'all. Like, unbelievably. It was like a clown car of fucking Japanese candy. She kept pulling out new and different stuff.
There was so many layers.
It's just like, there's gotta be an end to this box, right? And then she just keeps pulling out more.
It's hurting my head.
You know what? I wonder if those are... Hot tub.
Okay, I feel better.
Can I see your translation app then? I want to see if those are flavors or just little statements.
You can just download it yourself. Okay, that's that. Alright. Thank you.
I was curious if they're actual words. Inspiration, fashionable, Jumi, play, school, sports, allowance, selfishness,
Allowance.
shopping, person who works, chatting, patience. Some of them don't translate.
Yeah. It's probably not seeing it too well either.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Going out, makeover, game, date. So I guess you just eat the candy for the thing that you want.
Mhm.
Ah, pop.
Oh, you're right. Her thing is a different image. You're right. Pixel asked for a different thing. I told you to remind me.
I sent you a thing for it.
You did, and you didn't remind me, though. You didn't remind me.
Pop fortune telling Ramun. So we'll give you this one because it's for inspiration. There you go. Here's
Thank
your
you,
pop fortune of inspiration. I think they're chiclets.
I
It said Ramun.
specifically told him to remind me.
Yep. I sent her
Yeah,
a
they're
message
more
on
just hard
Discord.
candies.
Okay.
And he didn't. It's his fault.
Yep. I was distracted by the delicious candy.
You were.
one's banana.
You're a banana.
It's like the fake banana with a little bit of ramen. Pretty good.
You know what that means, though?
What?
You have failed me. I have to divorce you.
No! Bleh. She just throws the hand puppet on the floor.
Yeah. I guess I should try to go to the meetup paint thing tomorrow. I have no reason not to. I guess if I go there and chicken out, I can just buy shit and leave.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have to drop you off in the morning.
Fried chicken flavored little popcorn bites. Pretty good. You know, like the little takoyaki balls?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that, but airy. And flavored like chicken.
You're a chicken.
Would you like to try one?
No, thank you.
Okay.
I'm working. I should go so I can tell my psychiatrist I went. Maybe I'll bring your model and I'll see if I can, like, ask anyone about suggestions for paints and stuff. At worst, I can buy that. Much more chibi than this image, too. I gotta shrink some shit.
You're drawing her like the drummer lady on the rock.
Hmm?
The like the facial proportions.
I'm not sure who you were referencing.
The drummer lady on the rock anime?
Oh. Not really? Much thinner face.
Go to the restroom. Right?
Hey.
You can entertain, Jack.
No.
Watch over the artist.
No. I think I still need to make it small. Okay, though. Shark eyes, motherfucker. Actually, I guess shark eyes would be like big black eyes. Sharksy, sharksy, sharksy.
No, it's that team, the fuckers.
I mean, they still
Yeah, that was so good. But not as much as they did.
are. Not as much, no.
Unfortunately, that's what happens when you have a character who's in like
One.
one Zelda chunk. I wouldn't even say one game. He was in quite a few.
Was he in the newest one?
I don't fucking know. I don't know.
I'm not sure. I obviously haven't played it either, but I feel like I would have seen more porn of him if it was. But then again, I still see Midna all the time, so
Yeah, but she's a girl.
fair.
Women outlast men usually. Like, if they can worm their way in the way Lucario did, maybe not. And I know like a lot of the furries are men. And gay men at that, but like, you gotta definitely like worm your way in there forever.
Gotta have a niche to fill, I guess.
I think like also Lucario doesn't necessarily have a personality. Because it's a Pokemon. You can have it whatever way you want. So
Makes sense.
same with like Digimon. True, that's also
Yeah.
true. But also like like there will be fucking porn of women forever.
Yeah.
The first like hentai doujinshi were specifically called like I think it was like Clarissa or whatever her name was, the chick from the Ghibli movie Count of Cagliostro or whatever, because she was so popular that so much of the hentai and doujinshi was about her. They just called them books named after her.
That's fun.
A little wall-eyed. Little lizard.
Snack lady.
Snick. I can fix that.
Cobra.
That's true.
That's why the porn audits like him.
But I think the people who liked him the most were, one, women who shipped gay men,
Yes.
and two, gay men who just wanted to look at
Yep.
hot guy.
Wanted to see Link getting destroyed by
Yeah.
2 shark wieners.
Yeah.
I want that twink destroyed, and I want that twink destroyed, but for story reasons.
Because shippers and furries like things for entirely different reasons.
I have to have story and angst and plotline behind my destruction.
Well, the thing is, like, with story things, once you've done it, you've covered a concept.
Yeah.
That need has been filled. Not 100% all the time. Like, there are some, like, ships that are very repetitive with art and content and stuff like that. But it tends to go in, like, waves. Whereas, like, visually, like, if there's a concept and someone draws that concept, their art style doesn't necessarily matter. It can help it, but if you're just doing, like, non-shipping, just look at this character porn, which a lot of art for, like, gay men in the furry fandom is, it's more about, like, I'm gonna get this artist to draw it because they do this stuff. This artist's gonna try it.
Style.
Yeah, it's all style, no substance, so you can do it over and over and over and over again.
I always remember that one guy that was at the con that had an entire booth, like a full-size booth, but it was nothing but portrait-size ones of every different lady, but all in like the same 3 poses with the same lighting and everything else. It was just a whole wall of identical women. All of, like, it was technical skill was there. Like, it was, I'm not saying it was like shit art. I'm just saying the character was irrelevant they were all in one of 3 sexy poses kind of thing. And you could just get whatever woman you wanted. You'd get your waifu in one of several sexy poses and be done with it.
That's why I kind of hate like the Renamon stuff.
Yeah.
You're not drawing Renamon because you like her as a character. You're drawing Renamon because you think she's hot. So you basically just...
Yeah, sexy fox lazy.
You've just, like, taken this character and been like, oh, I'll put them in the gold bikini. I might have, like, one bit of their personality show in there. Maybe, like, tsundere archetype or something like that. It's like you've broken down a character to its most, like, shallow level and done things to it. And I'm not going to say shippers don't do that. There's, like... an argument for like the wooification of a lot of things that I will totally like. I totally understand that. It's like wooifying characters who are way more complex, especially like one person they pointed out, Papyrus especially.
Yeah.
But at least like that has like some substance to it instead of just tits, ass, and cock.
I like her because giant legs. Like, and that's another thing too.
And sometimes it's not even that. They're just like, here's the new flavor of the week.
Yeah.
So, or I like this character for who she is, but I also like huge tits, and she does not have huge tits. So here is a picture of her with huge tits.
Yep. I'm going to draw Rebecca from Cyberpunk with just, like, gravity-defying fat tits. And legs as big as her torso. Because
Rouge
that's what I like.
is wide as she is tall.
Like
and that's not a bad thing, but it's I don't care for it. It's definitely not how I like to do my art. And whenever I get like someone who likes that kind of stuff, and like I had a commissioner once who just would come at me with whatever muscly character they found at the moment and be like, same pose, straight on, no personality to it besides I am checking myself out in the mirror. At best. And that's what it is. That's why I like a lot of those the things like Dead or Alive beach volleyball.
Yeah.
Like this was an argument for women in games and stuff like that, especially at that time. Is like you see Bowser posed, you know what Bowser's about. He wants power, he has power, he's strong, You see a woman from Dead or Alive beach volleyball posing, she's checking herself out in the mirror.
Yeah. It's one of 5, one of 5 interchangeable women in the same poses.
Yeah. And they're just interchangeable for whatever, like, preferences you have for woman. And it's not just women. Again, like, this started with, like, the discussion of, like, queer furries, especially male furries who like men. It happens to them, too.
Yeah. That's really the thing is, like, if I see their art and I see how divergent from character standard it is, I will look at why it diverges first. And then from that divergence, I'll be like, oh, okay, you just draw everybody this way. And that's boring. Like if I see, Raven from Teen Titan and she's the same, F cup, legs bigger than my torso design as everybody else, that's boring.
It is boring.
And you've also like, you don't have that character at all. You just slapped a coat of paint on the same sex doll.
That's a good way to put it.
It's recolored sex dolls.
You slapped a coat of paint on the same sex doll. I love that. Good job, honey. That's a great way to put it. That's exactly what it feels like. Yeah. You basically slap the coat of paint of the character I like onto your sex doll, and I don't necessarily care for that.
Yeah, it's like, Rebecca is a grumpy little short stack who's desperately in love with this guy and trying her damnedest to
make him happy even if it's not with her.
Make him happy and to act like an adult for like the first time in her life. She's trying to be adult because this guy that she loves is falling down a hole of addiction that leads to him going crazy. So she's desperately struggling to try and save this idiot
from himself.
And
she can't. She fails.
And then you see them drawn, and it's just wobbly jello tits, and she's falling on her face. It's just like, so you don't even have like, do you even like this character?
No, it's just a flavor of. Sometimes they do, but they just can't think past. They don't have the shipper brain where you're like analyzing a character 5 ways to Sunday, which not everyone has to.
Yeah.
But they can't really think past beyond. this is what I find attractive, I want to fap to it. That's one thing that I always struggle with like characters I have. Like, people have been asking, like, why don't you do Uin, because I asked, like, hey, I kind of want to draw some saucy things in my OC. And people are like, well, it's Cult of Lamb. You do the, yeah, funny short girl, but half the time they don't even do her short. At least they're not doing her lolly ways.
Yeah.
But, and a lot of people are like, why don't you do the, stocks?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I would love to do the stocks. I would love to have Uin just be fucking gangbanged, because I think it would be fun as shit to draw. But that's, like, not in their character at any point. They literally are demisexual in the way that stalkers are demisexual for only Nari, and they wouldn't enjoy that, and they're, like, crafty enough to probably get out of that if they got into it, because, like, they've spent their whole life escaping shit like that, and Narender would fucking hate it, because other people would be looking at their partners, so it just doesn't fit the character dynamic.
Now, Calamar, on the other hand.
I do want to do more Calamar with his spouses, but I have to get their designs down. I have a blank canvas with a bunch of references on it. But I also think Calamar would be more, I think they'd have it in their tent, but I honestly think, like, he'd be a little more demure about that. Like, he wouldn't put his spouses through public indecency, because he values them, but they totally fucking have one in the tent that they all fuck him in.
The tent says birthday party on the front, and when they go in the tent, it's just Calamar in the stocks.
Yeah.
And the partners around holding various implements or things or snacks.
Yeah, 100% Calamar has personal stocks in his fucking tent, but I don't think he would. I think he'd be up for doing it in public, but I think he has more respect, or at least the way I do him, he's got more respect for his spouses, because even though he doesn't have a huge amount of character development, his development, like, the reason I want him to want his hearing back is because one of his spouses used to sing, and she can't sing for him, he can't hear her sing anymore, so she hasn't been singing.
Yeah.
And, like, the spouses all feel kind of, like, left behind because of all the things that happen, so he has to develop their relationships together. So his thing is all entirely figuring out how to be in a relationship where he's no longer a god amongst worshippers, and instead he's on more equal terms with his partners. So I would not, again, like, as much as I'd love to have him just in, like, the fucking middle of the place being fucked by everybody, it wouldn't fit his character development. And I don't just do, like, this is sexy, I do it. But I do sometimes, like, pull out, like, oh, I want to do this with the lamb, but it doesn't fit Uin. This is just default lamb.
Yeah.
This is not Uin. Like, that kind of shit. One thing I'd love to do, but I don't want to be mean to everyone else's Naris, is just have Uin get gangbanged by all the Naris, because they'd be so down for that. Because they are just, like, if you have something that's Nari coded just around them, they give up. They won't fight. They're just like, I'm fine with this. Let's go.
Oh no, I tripped and fell with my ass up in the air.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. They are just up for it. They are down. Let's go.
Oh, wait. I have to discipline this guy. Where the fuck are the stocks? Sound effect coming from the nearby tent. Tee! Calamar, you fuck!
Yeah, I could see him stealing it. Yeah.
Just like Owen is like holding a like ranting villager by the foot with like the crown.
Yeah.
And they're like walking over to put them in the stocks, and they get there and there's just like a crater where it used to be because Calamar just took the whole fucking thing and put it in their tent.
Yeah, I could totally see that. I do plan on doing a comic where, like, Narendra and Uin are, like, going around trying to find places to make out, and every time they find a place, Calamar is there with a different spouse trying to do the same thing. But Uin and Calamar are kind of tight, so they just get together and, like, set up a schedule for, like, totally not planned sudden makeout sessions for them and their spouses, which, like, of course they plan those. And Narendra's so fucking pissed that, like, all of this was planned, like, a week ahead of time.
There's like a cartography table
it's the fucking shipping thing it's the shipping chart from Homestuck.
Yeah, it's like the shipping chart on the wall, and the table's got like a map, like the top-down view. And
it's like, you get this Wednesday, I get this Thursday.
Calamar is like sliding little miniatures to a spot on the table, and Uin's like pointing and tapping the thing.
It's like a war table.
It's like war gaming.
And Narendra's just so fucking pissed that his romantic rendezvous with his fucking like partner were all planned ahead of time when he thought they were spur of the moment, even when he initiated them.
The table says horror gaming, but in the 40K
Oh my god! Shut up, Paul. I hate you. Die. Oh my god, Paul, die. Die. Divorce horror gaming. I hate you.
That's fair.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
Speaking of, looks like Lloyd's playing Sonic Adventure 2. So.
Rolling around at the speed of ground. I gotta play that sometime and talk about all the bullshit I went through being an early Sonic fan artist.
I'm sure there was.
I don't think I have enough content to talk about.
Well, the worst to worst, you could do new content.
No, I meant like situations that happened. Like the chick who yelled at me because Shadow's her boyfriend and I drew him with Rouge.
Oh,
that kind of shit.
Of course. That's illegal. How dare you? Should have known. You know, I see a lot less of that these days.
I think it's because people realize it's cringe, and also we're on older websites.
True.
If you go to like the Gacha Life crowd, it's that shit. They do that shit. Fair. That's where all that in Roblox. That's where all the children are doing all this embarrassing crap that we also did.
Yeah, I was gonna say, people are people. We're gonna do that shit till the end of society as we know it. But...
Oh yeah, I don't blame them, but like, it's embarrassing, and they will be embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. We all do embarrassing shit.
The future you just like, oh my god, kill me. I can't believe I did that.
I wasn't that bad, I think.
Everybody has at least one cringe thing like that.
Yeah, that shit. That's exactly like, it was that, but honestly, written worse.
Unsurprising.
I mean, these were kids on the internet and like the Audis, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were kind of stupid.
Oh, stupid. I remember, like, thinking of that cringe shit. I was, on a Wolf Forum RP back in the day. And I was so proud because, there was, like, two, like, main contingents of people on the Wolfie thing. And, I did a and played both sides against each other.
Good.
And caused a whole fucking shit pile, which actually ended up with the forum closing because everybody like went fucking ape shit. And I was like, oops. But like, I was like, ha ha ha, I am a mastermind. I have made other fellow middle schoolers attack each other. And now I'm like,
Nice job, cringe lord.
Wow, I sure thought I was dark and smart. As I was basically doing what your Fallout character would have done.
Yeah.
And I was like, so anyways.
Yeah, Walter was proto-Ewan. I'm sure I'll find what I'm doing right now cringy in a few years. But at least I had fun. I find the shit like I did for Little Nightmares with like the school AU pretty cringe. But I found it cringe while I was doing it, so...
I think the point is...
It was crazy popular, though.
At the end of the day, you make it to the few years later. That's all that really matters.
That's all that really matters, yeah.
Be cringe, have fun, move on.
Never look at it again.
I used to, I was part of a Dragon Ball Z, like, you know when they had like the MUDs, but they had kind of like the RPG framework in them, so they actually did have like the dice rolling and stuff like that?
I've watched history videos about it, yes.
Okay, well, it was one of those. And I ended up getting banned from that because I found out, oh, they like your thin lady.
Thank you. But the school version was fucking cringe as shit, oh my god.
You wanted to make the Mafia lady. You like that.
That was hot, yeah.
You
10 out of 10.
fun.
I do not regret that part.
But I figured out how in the like little thing that you had to use to connect to it, you could set up a little like macro, and then I just set up a macro to like power level my character in there. And I was like, hee, I'm smart. And I did the thingy, and it was just sitting there like just massively making my power level go up. And I'm like, and the admin goes, and he goes, hey. And I'm like, uh-oh. He's like, I know what you're doing. And he fucking, like, he did a command that made my stats go down a bit, which set off the macro and started doing it. And he's like, yeah, anyways, ban. And I'm like, that. So I went to the Buffy one.
I gotta watch Buffy someday.
We probably should. Honestly, that seems like that would just be fun to watch, like, disastrous episodes.
I think it's at the library. It's not on the
It's not on Hoopla.
Nah.
Huh.
I've looked. Oh, this guy kind of scary. I haven't looked him up close yet. This is the last one for the night, though. Hey, that's a little scary. That scared me. I thought he was just a people.
I feel like I've seen that kind of like face mask design before.
Dream.
Oh, yeah, Hero. You called it one.
Thank you, sweetie. I might have a reference for this. Hang on. I'm surprised I don't have more.
Yeah. I have no idea, but I do know that, you know, the writing guy on there also wrote Firefly, and just... I don't think he likes women.
No!
I think as a concept, he just doesn't like women, and got supremely mad that his own character in his own stuff being with a hot lady and people liking it, he was like, wait, no, you're not supposed to be okay with this, and killed off the guy.
So many male writers just fucking hate women.
It's just like, bruh, why? Like, no, I hate my own character because he's not supposed to get with the lady, and people aren't supposed to like shipping them. That's illegal.
Big ass image.
Enhance. And sometimes, like, I do wonder about some of these people where it's just like, if you hate writing and hate your characters so much, why are you writing them?
I have to pee.
Oh no.
Paul, entertain everyone. Hopefully the toilet will work.
Yeah, seems to be.
I
I love you too. I like that she says it like Garnet. When she says I love you, it's really cute. It makes me happy. All in all, today has been pretty good. Other than the toilet breaking today, wife got a lot of work done. We went to the local Asian grocery store and got some things that we needed. We went to see if they had the Rainbow Boss coffee, which they had Boss coffee, but not the Rainbow Boss coffee, which, it's a bit of a bummer, but it's fine. I like strong women who don't do any of that womanly stuff. Yeah. Again, like, some of the times I just wonder about these people, because it's just like, bruh, do you just...
like pathetic men.
But they're just like, do you not like people? Do you not like writing?
I am back.
Like, I understand that the Game of Thrones guy likes writing. He does genuinely like writing.
That's why he won't finish anything.
Yeah, that's for sure.
He just likes to do it.
But then, like, the two idiots who
oh dang, an
directed
ad's about to start. I could have hit the ad.
But then, like, the two idiots that directed the show had never done anything before, and also seemed to just not like directing. They just seemed like they didn't like story, plots, or actors. So just, why are you there? What is even the point? Yeah, but at some point you're just doing everything you hate. And you seem to have no dignity, so what is even the point?
Me doing commissions.
No, you have dignity.
True. I can tell people no.
Exactly.
I make enough money, I can.
And also, you're an artist, so if something is upsetting, you can do mischief about it.
I wouldn't do that. I would never take a commission that I didn't want to do and then fuck with it.
Oh.
That's beyond my, like, moral I wouldn't take people's money and then, like, fuck with it. Like, I'll hide, like, the autism creature in Minty's things, because she's my friend.
No,
I do a background, but she likes that, and if she didn't, I would take it out.
I mean more like doing, like, a little shitpost art, like when you, like, when you did goofy things of Lloyd. I mean more like that. But do you know that, Bungie got caught with all the art theft stuff going on in Marathon, amongst all the other bullshit with Marathon?
Yeah.
Part of the reason that they got caught was it's a very identifiable art style that they stole from. The lady has a very distinct art style in her, like, city, like, future city, but, like, punkish style, is how I would describe it. She has a very distinct style. But also, in one of her pieces, she hid a loss reference in there.
Ha!
And since it was such a direct fucking theft, the loss reference was in the stolen artwork. And she was like, oh, really? How about this? And they're like, oh, shit. So, yeah. It's been a disaster time for Marathon. Especially, after they were like, no, see, it could be really good. We're getting these streamer people to play it. And the streamer people are like, this is dog shit, man. Did you test this? And they're like, oh.
Apparently not, I guess.
And then after that was when they found out of all the stolen art assets. So it's getting worse, man.
Usually people who steal one thing, they're not doing a lot better with everything else.
Yeah. And art stuff, like, when you...
At least they didn't AI it, I guess. They just up and up stole it. That's kind of nice.
And when you have a big company, it's hard to keep an eye on everything. But that went through a lot of hands and didn't get caught by anybody. And that, at that point, it's just like, well, okay. And especially when the artist was like, hey, you guys had just asked, I would have happily worked with you. I would have been ready and willing to go.
But you're too expensive.
Like, she's not even, like, a huge artist, so it's not even that. Like, she would have just worked with them, just flat out. Like, that's the really wild thing, is, like, this person was like, I would have loved to work on this. And which would have then saved them a bunch of money, but also,
That's gotta suck when you're like, I would have worked on this. I would have happily taken this job, and you still didn't hire me. You just stole my shit.
Yeah, and now it's going to cost
damn,
you.
Okay.
Like, it's going to cost them more to fix than it would have to just hire her.
Yeah.
And then they would have had better art instead of just stolen knockoffs. Like, they have her shit from Temu that's getting them fucking in trouble when they could have just had her shit. But it also just so happens, this happened right after they fired a big chunk of their legal department.
Oh, oops.
Including, but not limited to, one of the best IP lawyers in the fucking business.
Oops.
The exact person they really desperately need right now to help them smooth things over. And he's been on Blue Sky posting about it.
Oh, I bet he's having fun.
Oh. I so rarely see Schadenfreude that fucking deep. Like, holy shit. Just the actual lawyer who was let go going, hey, you know who would have really helped you on this? Your fucking legal department. Oh, man.
Cutting costs everywhere. Looks what it gets you. These people cut costs like it didn't do anything. They just see it as, like, money being spent.
Yep.
They don't see it as, like, what it do. You don't spend money for no damn reason except on CEOs.
Yep. Like, that is exactly... You were spending that money for just such a situation that would cost you a lot more money. So why not just have that dude around? Would you like a 7-Up?
Nah. I'm almost done. This is the last one.
So yeah, like, just been getting fucking blasted over it, and like, oh man, it is all falling down around their heads.
As it should.
As it should, because it's fucking Bungie and Sony doing stupid shit.
It's like that guy who's like, I'm about to like do labs in my nutrition degree that I use ChatGPT to fucking teach me everything for, do everything for. What do I do? It's like, you fucked.
Yeah, you fucked.
Don't cheat.
You've gotten yourself into this dipshit spot, and now you're dead.
Again, it's like, you're paying to go to school for a reason. You, like, it's not 100%, like, there is some shit that is bullcrap and should be, like, changed. Hundo, but, like, it's not all just shit you gotta pass. This isn't high school.
Yeah.
Just to get to the fucking actual stuff that matters. No, like, this is important. There's a reason we do this crap.
And you've put yourself in a situation where you are the only to blame. Oh, somebody at the fursuit has like a little collar and tag on their fursuit, and they have a little thing that has the Barbie font and it says bimbo.
Oh, cute.
I just wonder about some of these people, because like I guess like it's probably a slow descent of just doing and doing and doing, and then you realize how stupid you've gotten yourself into. But like, bro, you have to know, like, if you're in a thing where you're gonna have labs, how exactly do you think you're going to do them? Like, how exactly do you think this is going to help? And like, and they've talked about too, like, how disastrously some of these things are making stuff now, like how fast it is degrading stuff. And like,
it's come about so much and so fast. Like, the internet didn't even come about this much and this fast.
Yep. And like,
there's no way you can expect instructors and trainers to compensate for it. So I don't even blame them. Like, how are you supposed to?
Yeah. You know what's funny? You remember the old fucking booklets with like the like fill in the dots that you have to get? You had to go buy the stupid book to take the tests.
Yeah.
Those are coming back.
Yeah.
They said that there's been in some places as much as a 67% increase in sales on those.
I think like we're gonna have to do like writing your essays in class. When I was getting my teaching degree, you did have to sit down. You got a dictionary, thankfully, and because they didn't allow spell check on it and all that, but you were expected to know the information, and basically everyone got essay questions, and you were expected to sit down and answer those essay questions. On this test I paid $500 for.
Yeah.
Like, you can't chat GDP on that because you don't have it there.
Yep.
And you're not even allowed to use your phone. You have to sit there and do the thing. And even that didn't prepare me for stuff, because once I got into the actual field, I couldn't handle it because of all my mental issues. So...
I remember that was one of the things that I had to do down in Texas was, you know, for the little bit of college that I did, that was they had the CLEP test, which was you could spend some money, take this test, and if you passed it, you got credits, and then didn't have to take that class.
Yeah, I wish they did that more with things.
Yeah, well, I took the CLEP test because down in Texas, the starting history class for freshmen was colonial history.
Which you lived in,
and I was in Virginia.
Yeah.
So I was like, bruh, I don't even care all that much about most history things. I bet I can pass this. So I gave them the $20 and I sat down for the CLEP test, and it was like 20 multiple choice ones and then like 5 essays.
I wish they had it, because I know like school is important and stuff like that, but I do wish more things for like being able to do stuff, because we were talking about like being a pharmacist and stuff like that. The school is important for proving, but we were talking about how like I wish instead of having to pay all the money to get like the degree and do all this like school stuff that's incredibly expensive these days, you could just do an internship and pass tests instead of having to pay to learn all this stuff. You could just buy the books and learn it all yourself and then pay to take a test. Like, they could even charge for the test, I don't care.
Yeah.
But to be like, no, you want to be a qualified pharmacist? No, you got to go to school instead of like actually working in the field and learning in your own way on your own time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, fuck you.
It's like you talked about how most of the schooling was geared around going to being middle management.
Yeah.
Well, middle management needs to know their numbers, needs to do that, this, that, and the other thing. So it's because of the way that's all geared up, we don't have a lot of those things. Like, there's some places that still do that kind of stuff, like apprenticeship things, particularly for like technical skills like HVAC and pipe fitting.
Yeah.
But like most places don't do that anymore. They don't train employees because they don't want to. That's a cost.
Because it's not like you're doing advanced, no offense to pharmacists, I'm not going to be like mean to, I'm just saying, like, you're not doing advanced, like, experimentations that there's no answer for. For the most part, you just have to have the knowledge and then, like, learn how to do it in the field.
Yeah.
Neither of which you really need to, like, go through a whole, like, college course of, like, 4 years and learn, like, theory and shit like that. If you know what not to do and what to do, and you like know how to do it in the field, like you took the test, show that you have all the required medical knowledge, and you do an internship which shows you have all of the practical knowledge, I don't see why you can't just like prove that instead of having to pay for all that money for a degree.
Yeah, I think it's the difference between having a license and having a degree set up.
Yeah.
If you're set up around being a licensed person, then that tends to mean that you have practical and you've learned.
Yeah.
And I think, especially since I couldn't tell you where a compounding pharmacy is, so none of them are actually putting anything in a pill pocket or anything like that.
Yeah.
They're straight up taking it from one bottle to a bottle and giving it to you. So if you can count, can show precision and
recognize the stuff that might be dangerous when mixed together, recognize the pills that are wrong,
can understand the wording and have pattern recognition, then it should be a practical job.
Yeah.
And that should be a licensing situation as opposed to something like that where you need a degree and things like that.
Honestly, I'd rather them be like working in the field and learning where someone can monitor them while they work rather than just showing that they could memorize shit from a book. Because that's a very dangerous field to be in as far as like shit goes.
Show up with a degree and none experience.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Yeah, go give them heart meds.
Yeah, I would rather they like show that they have the knowledge and then work in the field.
Yes.
And I think like a lot of people don't even learn that well in college because it's a bad way to learn things for some people. So I don't see why like studying and then proving you know the material through testing, even if it's multiple testing for like different subjects, but you don't have to like spend all the 4 years of college and the all that, or just maybe you don't even have time because you're already working on another job to go to college, but you can study at night when there's like no one. Maybe you have a job, you can study at your job, but now you gotta like make time for classes, you gotta pay for those classes, which are prohibitively expensive in America. You gotta do all this shit for something that you could just probably prove by taking a bunch of tests and then work practically, and it's just gross. It makes me sad and upset.
Wasteful.
Yeah, it is. It means less people can do it because more people are not going to have the money to go to college. Like, you don't really retain stuff from college necessarily because you learn to take the tests.
Yeah.
Whereas having like an internship and then like making sure like you know all the shit you're doing to get your license by taking the test, like the driver's test and stuff. You don't learn driving by taking the test. You learn driving by doing the practical shit. Then I would feel more comfortable with that person as my person getting my meds.
Yeah. Like one of the biggest things with when I was down there in Texas working with drones was just because I had more practical hours working on the damn things, like building them, flying them, working with pilots and things like that, because of being around my dad than anything else. I have had no formal training whatsoever, and I had more skill, aptitude, and capacity on working on those things than many of these other degreed professionals, several people worked in the military and things like that, because I'd had practical working on them, and I knew how to look up the things I didn't know.
Yeah, that's another important thing. I rather have like people know. I don't care about people memorizing everything in the moment. I honestly rather they know how to look up what they don't know.
Yeah.
Because like no one's gonna remember everything. That's another reason tests and shit don't really work all that well, because like no one does that. I don't remember all the, like, you think when I start a new piece I don't look up fucking references first? Like, no.
Shouldn't there be 2 for Melissa? She's a 40.
She only had 1.
Subathon exhausted Melissa. Yep.
I probably have something for that. Let me check.
But yeah, I mean, like, do you think I understand how the little radio frequency module works on the drone? No, of course not. But we were having trouble pairing the fucker to the remote, so I looked up on a forum what I should check. Because I'd never even touched one of those things. I had no clue. But I looked up on a forum, and I went, okay, and I made a checklist, and I went down the checklist, and I found on the thing, okay, this is what's wrong, and this is why it's not working. And then we fixed it. Because I was able to look at that and find out, oh, it's because we had this frequency module and we have this transmitter, and those two don't talk until you have a different version of the radio frequency. And then we fixed it. But like, I also was much better acquainted with soldering and putting wires together.
Oh, I like this one.
So when so when we had some problems down there, because, you know, adapt, overcome kind of situation, we were down in Corpus Christi, and for those people who don't know, Corpus Christi is moist. It's muggy as shit because it's on the Gulf of Mexico. And also,
which is still the Gulf of Mexico.
And also, for some reason, that water is corrosive as fuck. Like, it just is. It's not like a health hazard, but it sure is an electronics hazard. So we were having a lot of problems that basically came back to, we had to kind of ruggedize our drones. So we just had to go back through and silicone coat a lot of things and resolder a bunch of stuff and things like that. And because I had practical, that was like, all right, do this, do this, do this, get to it. And we sat there working on it. But like, if I didn't have that practical to know to check things, we would have just kept having stuff fall out of the sky. Which we did have a couple of that. It's not really anything you could do about it. Stuff happens. The one was pretty wild. One of them, during takeoff, these were 6-motor drones. And one during takeoff had a short, because again, Corpus Christi, and it got confused. And it thought it was upside down. And it did what it was supposed to do, and it floored all of the motors to full speed on one side and turned off the ones on the other. And so this thing was mid-takeoff, got about 6 feet in the air, did a complete 180, and threw itself into the ground upside down and just shattered. And of course, that's a really dramatic thing when you have all of your professionals and government people and the fire department and cops and everything else out there, and one of your drones just fucking ate it. It's like, ah. But yeah, and especially to getting practical and learning that kind of stuff helps you develop a lot of other things, because, you know, you come out, like in that case, you have a degree, you're just out into the field, all you have is book learning, you have no practical. How do you talk to people?
I don't do that now.
How do you explain to someone how their heart medication works and what they can and can't have it with? Well, if you've never gotten that practical, you haven't practiced talking to people. So you don't know how you're going to handle those things. But now you're in the wild and your entirety depends on it. And just like in the rock anime, you are suddenly faced with the professional thing and you are here now. And you have had no practical with it. You might panic. You might fuck up.
I panic now.
So, like, that could be disastrous. And again, it's not your fault. You haven't had any practice to find out how you handle that or how you react to it. So that's, like I said, that 100% is another reason for, like, you should have practical instead of just the book. This one is about the books. The medicine, the medicine. Tiefling loaf. GM did.
Yes.
I wonder what her time is at. I haven't checked recently.
I don't know, but she should put a limit on it.
I think she should, yeah. I think she should,
She's just doing it forever now.
Yeah. I think she should cut it at 300. Like, if it gets to the point of 300 days, just be like, health and safety, I'm cutting it here, kind of thing. Because I think going almost an entire year and, like, just... It ain't been good for her. I'm sure it has been very, like, it's an amazing amount of support, and she's gone through so much, and it has been really cool. But at the same point, like, I tend to look at things more on a sustainability kind of thing. You can't sustain being on this thing forever. And, like, I think she needs a nap and a vacation. Desperately. Poor thing. I think she has a place now. I think that was one of the things that she was able to do. It's like over there, it's a little different than like how rent is here in the States. It's kind of more like having a condo or a duplex kind of thing. But still, she's got to be just exhausted. Maybe after stream I'll see what her hours are at.
A lot.
I'm sure. Like I said, I know she was like, finally, I'm down below 24 hours. And dude came in, just like literally went in and went, haha, no, and just dropped like a chunk of fucking gift subs. Rolled up, bombed her, and left. Like, bruh. Didn't even get to finish her intro before you just were like, no, it ain't. I've always been like, it is amazing to me that she has been able to sustain this. I couldn't. I struggle doing 3-hour streams sometimes. That is why she's a professional. Would it be funnier to have like a skid mark, like she's been sliding her face along?
Oh no, I'm gonna put a finish line slightly in front of her.
Ah.
Slightly out of reach.
Like the checkered pattern on the ground?
Yeah.
Hmm. Sisyphus rolling her fat tail up the hill.
Yeah.
I saw somebody had done a BNG tuber kind of thing, and it looked like a Sparkle Dog version of Melissa.
Probably not.
And it may have been like the artist had like a reference face kind of thing, and but like it was just funny because like I just
Finish.
yeah.
It should be capitals.
Melissa, just barely too far away from a giant line of cocaine.
I'm kind of nasty though.
It's G Fuel. She's gonna go have just a giant fucking line of G Fuel before the stream starts. Would you like me to cook anything for dinner after this?
No, I'm fine. There.
Yatta!
Okay. Alright, that's all for this month. If y'all want, you can start putting up your requests for next month. We'll probably start Sunday. I'll see y'all then, same place, same time. Okay, I love you, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for coming, y'all.